Dietitians and nutritionists say that the portions Americans pile onto their plates for Thanksgiving dinner, it's actually the opposite of what we should be eating. Your portion of meat should only be the size of a deck of cards. Half of your plate should be covered with vegetables, and the remainder is for starch, like mashed potatoes or stuffing. You don't need a team of experts to come out and weatherize your home. This is something you can do by yourself on a weekend afternoon with the right materials from your local hardware store. The course is surrounded by undeveloped land. With the hilly terrain, trees, and animal life, playing on this course can be kind of difficult. Some players say it's the challenge that improves their game. That's the sound of history being made, literally. Sculptor Jim Brothers is putting the final touches on his latest works at a foundry outside Lawrence.
This is called the Medill. You can see the gun, of course, the fallen gun. So other people have been there. And he's charging around with the idea that he's heard somebody call for him.
This sculpture and 2 busts will join his other pieces at the D-Day Memorial in Bedford, Virginia. Brothers says he was inspired by stories veterans told him about how much the work of medics on D-Day meant to them.
So this was my chance to pay tribute to the medics.
The soldiers are cast of silicon bronze. It's hollow, but the piece weighs in at around 1,400 pounds. He worked on it for about a year. Brothers says this sculpture involved less bureaucracy than other ones in the past. He showed his sketches to the D-Day Memorial director, got approval, and went directly to working with models. To create a historically accurate appearance, Brothers relied on photos, uniforms, and authentic weapons from the war. He wants veterans to see themselves as they were when they served.
Right now, the soldiers that were there sure enjoy seeing something that they relate to.
Brothers says the series does not glorify war, but celebrates peace and remembers the bravery of soldiers.
These people died and served for us, and we do owe them.
The soldiers may be made of bronze, but the emotions they'll evoke for memorial visitors will be very, very real. Chardae Davis.
$20.
It's a pretty good time to own a pawn shop. The owner of one in Lawrence says since the start of this year, he's noticed more people come in needing cash to pay for everyday items.
We've seen quite an increase in loans from people just needing short-term loans for getting gas at the end of the pay, right before the end of the pay period.
Most are bringing in jewelry.
Gold, scrap gold. Even if it's broken gold, they bring it in, and we can give them a gold weight value on it. And that's probably been the biggest thing.
They're also offering up firearms and power tools for quick cash. Wall says pawn shops serve as a bank for many people who need short-term loans, something real banks can't provide.
And people are just needing a little bit of cash. And the banks won't do it. They can't loan somebody $20 or $50 or $100. There's too much paperwork involved. And so that's really our niche.
Meanwhile, secondhand stores like Second Chance Children's and Maternity in downtown Lawrence claim they have lots of recycled inventory. A store manager says more people have come in wanting to sell used clothes.
We take a look at what they have. We set a price on that for what we're going to resell it at. Set that price, and then we total it up, and we offer 40% of that total in cash or 50% in store credit.
Some shoppers say resale in secondhand stores will become more popular.
I think more people are going to come and to buy and sell at places like this because you can stretch out your budget a little bit easier.
A pawn shop and a secondhand store. 2 places where one person's trash really is another's treasure. Chardae Davis, 6 News. How about the other one? Thanksgiving, a time for family, football, and unfortunately, fat and calories.
People don't think about how much they're eating, but it could be anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 calories in that one meal.
On average, dietitians recommend taking in 2,000 calories a day. Some people say thinking about what's in the food is out of the question.
I just gorge. I eat as much as I can, and no, I don't think about a health aspect of it now.
Ryan says turkey isn't the calorie culprit, but
it's the gravy that we put on it. The vegetables are great, except that we make them very, very rich. Green beans, but it has to be green bean casserole. So it's all the things that we do to make them special that adds all the calories.
When shopping for dinner, she says think fresh.
Shopping around the outside of the grocery store is a good place to start, because as you get into the inside, that's where you start to get the prepared foods and the very rich foods, a lot of salt added to them.
Dietitians and nutritionists say that the portions Americans pile onto their plates for Thanksgiving dinner is actually the opposite of what we should be eating. Your portion of meat should only be the size of a deck of cards. Half of your plate should be covered with vegetables, and the remainder is for starch, like mashed potatoes or stuffing. But still, everyday nutrition rules are thrown out come Turkey Day.
You only do Thanksgiving once a year, so you might as well go for the whole thing, and everybody can go back on their diets after Thanksgiving.
Spoken like a true fan of the holiday, but experts advise against this. Chardae Davis, 6 News.